I have to
Now these are, we can switch them on. Okay. And a big thank you to Desert Financial Credit Union for sponsoring our KRIM Community Spotlight program. Happy Friday, everyone. That is right. It is Friday. Hope everyone's ready for the weekend. A lot going on in Payson. As usual, the Payson Farmers Market tomorrow morning right here in the Sawmill Theater Complex from 8 to noon. And then also, it is the last summer concert of the year out at Green Valley Park. Concert starts at 7 o'clock and goes until 9. So if you haven't gotten out to any of the concerts, really need to get out there, enjoy live music, and have a great time. Fun for the whole family. Well, this morning we have a guest in our studio, Kevin Quame with Neighborhood Loans. Good morning, Kevin.
Hey, Chris. How's it going?
Going
good to
great.
be here.
Yes, thank you so much. And also Jennifer Kiley, realtor with Integra
Homes and Land.
Homes and Land.
Yes.
So thank you so much, Jennifer, for
Thanks,
coming in
Chris.
this morning.
Pleasure to be here. Thank you.
So we are going to be talking about, if you haven't guessed yet, real estate in Payson, and also lending, and just some of the different programs, options, things that are available to home buyers out there. But also we'll be talking a little bit about if you're selling your home, maybe some things that you should be considering, looking at to help you sell your home. First though, I think some numbers, Jennifer. I know before the program you were sharing with Kevin and I just some of the numbers that we see here in Payson right now. For example, average home prices. There has been an increase over last year, is that correct?
Yes. So, Chris, last year about this time, the average sales price of a home in Payson was about $423,000, and now it's up to $496,000, which could partially be due to the fact that we're seeing a lot more sales in homes over $750,000, which could raise that median price a little bit. But our inventory is still extremely low, which is also driving the values.
So when you say inventory is extremely low, how many homes are for sale on the market right now?
There's 112 single-family homes just in the Payson area, and that's not including Pine, Strawberry, Christopher Creek, and those areas. So that's pretty low, and about half of those are over 500,000. So it's making it really tough for home buyers that are, for affordable homes. Yeah.
So if there are 112 homes in Payson, you said over half are over 500,000.
Correct.
So that means, wow, 60 or more of the homes over 500,000. Wow, yeah, that does make it tough for people with, maybe not that income level. They're not retired. They're not maybe moving from other areas where they sold a home for a lot more money. And then looking to retire or go to a different area. So how does that factor into lending, Kevin?
Well, what we're seeing a lot too with home values. A lot of people thought, with interest rates rising and everything, that we were going to see like a big decrease in home values, which would help on the lending side, because then when if the prices drop, with the interest rate going up, you'd see lower payments per se, but now we're not seeing that, so it does impact the first-time home buyer, with, usually first-time home buyers don't, they're maybe in a new job or startup job, like lower income. It's harder for them to qualify because of the higher interest rate. But, we do have like some down payment assistance programs, that help. We have like 2-1 buy downs on the rate, like that's another program that can kind of help. So it has been a little challenging with first-time home buyers due to the values increasing versus going the other way, because you look back years and years and years ago, like when interest rates were higher than they are now, it was easier because home values were 200,000, 300,000, so it made it a little more easier. But there's a lot of creative ways now too that we can help with new and first-time home buyers, or just home buyers in general too, with interest rates higher. People that are selling, may give like seller credit to help with closing costs more often now than if there isn't as much competition. So the combination of all of that, it helps. But yeah, no, we didn't see a big decrease a value like a lot of people thought were gonna happen, and a lot of it has to do, like Jennifer said, with inventory, you know, so.
And also, I'd imagine Arizona just being a desirable state, that a lot of people are moving to Arizona, they want to come here. So if you have buyers, people that want to buy, it's hard for prices to go down.
It's supply and demand, it's just that simple. And I think nobody could have foreseen what happened during COVID and the fact that people found out they could work from home. A lot of people migrated to rural areas and made this a permanent home, which, you know, this has been a lot of second homes, and now it's changed, the demographic has changed. And I think that is all a part of what we're seeing here as far as low inventory. In addition to the 117 degree heat in the valley.
And too, like people I know I talk to almost daily, like they want to sell, they want to upgrade their house, they want to do everything, but they have a 2% or 3% interest rate, so it's hard to give up. But I also have a list of like pre-approved buyers ready to go as well, so you know, that's another factor.
Yes. So. I know my son and his wife are one of those couples because they just a year ago had their second child, so they're feeling a little tight in their home. It was their first home. They got an incredible rate, which I believe was 2% or even under because of a USDA or a program and that they qualified for. And I told them over and over, do not get rid of that. Do not sacrifice that, because you know, that makes such a big difference. Makes such a big difference. And for those of us that have taken a few more trips around the sun than others.
What are you trying to say?
Yeah, I know. That's maybe a creative way of saying those of us that are a little bit older. When we talk about interest rates, I know it's funny because you know, younger people like a few of my children that bought homes when the interest rate was very low, they thought, oh, well, this is kind of the norm. This is like a regular cycle. Oh, no. I know. I gave them a real quick history lesson and had them look up interest rates in the 80s.
16% when I started in business in 1989.
I can't even imagine having that call if somebody called me up and was like, hey, what are rates doing?
16.9.
We can maybe just get you under 16 today.
Oh, great, you can do that, Kevin. Really? Oh, that'd be wonderful.
But the market adapts.
You
know, it does. And people, we got creative. That's what we did as realtors back then. We got creative. Sellers started doing carryback financing. We were doing things you can't do today, wrapping loans and those kinds of things. So, but it does adapt now. Sellers are offering concessions, and it still works. People still buy homes.
Yes, and there's still, I mean, I feel like they are starting to kind of get the grasp, kind of becoming the new normal, because at first everyone was like, you know, that fear of missing out. Like they saw all this that happened, you know, 2-3 years ago, and they didn't want. But now it's kind of like, okay, here we are. Again, what I talk about all the time is you're never going to find that perfect time to buy like that. You can never time the market perfectly, because before it was, oh, the home values are skyrocketing. I don't want to go over ask. I don't want to waive inspections. I don't want to do all this. Like I don't have, even though the rates are really low, I don't want to do this. So I'm going to wait until. Well, now here we waited.
Yes.
The values really haven't changed too much. I mean, they're not going up as fast as they were, but now the interest rate's higher. So now it's, well, now I want to wait till the interest rate drops. Well, you know what's going to happen again.
Well, when the interest rates drop, let me see if I can predict this. Interest rates drop, now more homes are going to be on the market. So that
more competition.
More competition. Yep. So
you're not going to get probably seller credit like you could maybe now.
More buyer competition.
Very much.
Multiple offers.
Multiple offers.
So I always, you know, obviously I want people to buy homes, and I'm like, it's a great. It has to make sense. You have to, if you can, you know, do the payment now. If it's affordable for you now, it's way easier to buy now than it will be when the rates are lower. It's going to be way easier to refi than trying to buy at that time.
That brings up a great point. So that is wonderful advice for a home buyer. That buy if you can do it.
If you don't want to be house poor, you got it has to make sense. Like
But if you can,
Yeah.
don't wait for those interest
Mhm.
rates to come down before you buy.
Yeah.
Buy now, if you're able to, if you found that home, you're not comfortable with the interest rate, you don't like it, but when they come down, it is easier to refinance than to try and buy at that time.
You might not get seller credit, you
Yeah.
might pay more, you just never know. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and one of the other numbers you shared with us, Jennifer, was how many homes are in escrow right now in Payson?
Sure, so there's 41 homes pending, which is basically in escrow right now. You know, with an inventory of 112 only, that's a huge number for,
Yes.
and of course, we are in summer, which is a good buying season for us. But typically, spring and fall are excellent seasons
Yeah.
as well for home sales.
So now the 112, does that include those homes that are
No.
pending? Okay, okay.
Those are just
I was gonna
active.
say, wow, because then that really reduces
Yeah.
that 112.
Oh, I see, so
Okay.
you're thinking,
Yeah.
take the
No,
41 off the
yeah.
112.
No, okay,
Yeah.
so there are 112 homes on the market that are not pending, that are available
Correct. Yep.
to a buyer. So if you're a first-time home buyer, what are some advice, what are some tips, or what are some things that you could recommend for first-time home buyers?
Besides speak to a lender, I
Yeah,
had that.
yes.
That's
Yeah.
the first thing,
Yeah.
and I don't think first-time home buyers because they don't know where to start.
They don't.
So they'll call a
Yeah.
realtor and
Yeah.
they'll say, well, what can I qualify for? And I say, well, that's not really my
Talk to
area.
them.
So,
Okay.
you know, you give them Kevin's name and then the other thing they don't know is it's part of the purchase contract says that you are submitting your offer with a pre-qualification form.
Mm.
So if you're a first-time home buyer and you're paying cash, great for you.
And you.
But if you're,
Yeah.
no, but if you're not that fortunate, then that has to be your first stop. And then
Yeah.
also, I'm not showing you homes that they're above your,
Yeah,
you know,
you
your
just don't
price
know.
range,
Yeah.
and then you'll be disappointed.
And I mean, I get it. I mean, nobody wants to talk to me first.
Yeah.
I mean, they want,
Like the bar
yeah.
and-
Well, I mean, yeah,
Let's
they
go
want
to the house. I wanna see
yes,
the house.
they want to see the
Yeah.
upgrades, the pool, and whatever. Like, they don't want to talk W-2s and
Yeah.
pay stubs and stuff. Or the biggest thing, especially in my opinion, for first-time home buyers, is obviously the credit piece, because a lot of the times, you know, especially if they're just coming out of college or just started a job or just kind of getting their career going, they might not have built up credit yet. So that's my biggest thing with, you know, first time, what to do, what not to do.
Mhm.
You know, keeping credit card balances less than 50% of the limit,
Mhm.
you know, paying them off each month, if you can, you know,
Yeah,
again, it's
yeah.
a lot of the stuff I say is a lot easier said than done.
Yeah.
But, you know, keeping credit balances low, don't open new debts, especially when you're trying to purchase a home. You know,
Yeah.
and then again, easier said than done, you know, have a good savings plan.
Mhm.
Like, because, you know, we can do as little as 3% down for first-time home buyers.
Mm.
There's down payment assistance programs. And then right now too, if you get seller credit, you could use the down payment assistance funds, get seller credit, and you could basically, you know, hardly have anything out of pocket of your own funds at closing, so.
Do you still have some of those great FHA programs where you're actually, in essence, getting money from?
Well, yeah, there's an
Yeah.
FHA, it's like the Home Plus, Home and 5 down payment programs. They kind of go in and out right now. I think it's just with the market, how it goes up and down. But yeah, like you can get anywhere from 3% assistance up to 5% assistance. And then that's all fee-based too, so like.
It's a great
Yeah,
program.
there are some restrictions with those after closing now, just, you know, with refinancing and selling, but, I mean, if you can get up to 5% assistance, that's gonna cover your minimum 3.5% down,
Mm.
and a little bit of the closing cost, you get the seller credit negotiated.
Yep.
There you go.
Yep.
So those are some tips, some advice for home buyers, first-time home buyers. How about sellers, Jennifer? If you're looking at selling your home, you found another home, you're going to be moving, what's some advice you would give sellers?
Well, I think it's important to find a good local realtor that understands the market
Mhm.
and the pricing and the trends here. And then, you know, your realtor will usually advise you, but it's always nice to do if you have maintenance items and projects that you, if you're able to do those, great. If you're not able to do those, you can price the house accordingly, or you can offer sometimes a carpet allowance or flooring allowance, which will make it a little more desirable. Keep in mind that, for instance, in Chaparral Pines, 18 to 24 months ago, there were 3 homes available. Now there's 21.
Oh, wow.
So what that means is, the competition is stiffer. So you want your home to stand out. You want to declutter as much as possible. Make the space look big and open, clean and inviting. Also, your front door area and your landscaping. There's actually buyers that you'll drive up and they'll see the house and they'll go, pass.
First impression.
First impression.
Yeah.
So and pricing it right out of the gate is critical, because everybody, 87% of home buyers purchase their home, they see it online first. And what they find themselves on distribution lists of new homes on the market. So what happens is you overprice the house a little bit just to test the waters and see what you can get. And then that goes out to a huge blast of people that are waiting for homes. They see that, they think it's overpriced, and they just pass it by. So you've missed a really good first shot. So I think if you price it well, right on the money, right out of the gate, I think that you could have better success.
And you said something that I just wanted to clarify. You said you want to make your home stand out. Definitely in a good way, not a bad way.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
Because like you said, it can stand out in a bad way if the front yard is a wreck.
Sure.
Then how many people are going to get past that? How many people are willing to, well, let's go inside, let's take a look anyway, because in their mind they're going to think, if this is what it looks like out here, oh no, what's it going to look like inside?
Yeah.
And what is the rest of the house going to be like? So,
Deferred.
yeah.
And I'm sure that's changed too from the last 2-3 years, where maybe when you
Didn't matter.
it didn't exactly. So like
Yes.
you would like, oh, it's fine. You'd list the home and you'd have like 12 offers with it.
Yeah.
Like now, not quickly, not as much. So now you need to do something.
Well, I remember that was my son who's in Chandler and his wife. It was their first home they purchased, but it was during the time, it was probably a few years ago, 2-3 years ago, when people were bidding on homes. There were like 12 offers on a home, and they did get that home. They had to increase their offer a couple times, but it wasn't as is, and just things that you would normally expect in most markets. Well, they would need to do this, they would need to do this. Nope. He was just happy. Yeah, they were just happy to get it.
Yeah.
They were happy that they got it. So the things that had to be done, the flooring, the refrigerator, different things. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. It's
You
okay.
mentioned something there too that just reminded me on that a lot of during that time too. Like I had people that would ask or say like, I don't want to pay over the list price. Well, the list price doesn't mean that it's not valued more. So like let's say you did go 10,000-20,000 over and it appraises, well then you didn't overpay. So that was another big misconception that a lot that just well I'm overpaying because the list price was 500 and I'm paying 520, I overpaid. Well, if it appraises at 520,
Then it's,
you didn't overpay.
It's not set in
So
stone.
it's not, the sales price is not what, it all
Yeah.
comes down to at the end of the day, whatever people want to pay for it is, there you go.
The other thing, Chris, too, is I think making your house easy to show is critical, because up here, a lot of times, we may have a buyer for 2 hours. They may come up for the day, and they want to see a home, and oh, well, I need 24 hours notice, or, get the dog, get the kids, get out of the house, keep it, get up in the morning, make your beds, and make it, because it's those homes that you can show within 30 minutes to an hour. Those are going to be the ones that are shown first.
Yeah.
Driving through.
Yep.
And I think, like you said, it's important to realize and recognize that the market is different. So before, maybe where people would overlook those things because it was so competitive, it's not like that now.
Changes.
So you need to do those things. If you're serious about selling your home.
Yes.
If you're not real serious and kind of, we really
You
don't
have to be
care.
ready. You
Yeah.
have to be ready.
Yeah.
Whereas in the valley too, usually if you're going to show homes in the valley, you're going to show them tomorrow. So the day before you set them all up. No, not here. They
Yeah.
walk in the door. They want to see this home and they want to see it now.
Mhm. I know I experienced that, we did where, and we were prepared for that, where, you know, each day it was like, okay, in the morning, get everything ready, because you
Make
just
your
didn't
bed,
know.
make your
Yeah,
bed.
Get
you
the
just
scent.
didn't know, yeah, you didn't know, and it was a case a realtor would call up
Yeah.
and, hey, is it okay in an hour, in a couple hours?
Yeah.
Yep, there you go, it's open, it's good, here it is, how about it?
Sure.
And you just need to be prepared for that.
Absolutely.
I think. So, wow, homes, a lot of, there's also in this area, a lot of, there's some construction going on. And, you know, new homes going in, how is that going to maybe affect, you know, the market, lending, what kind of impact will you see?
Well, I think that we are seeing a lot more building, and there's a lot of land. There's not a lot of land available. A lot of people come up and they want us. They're looking for 2 acres or something.
Yeah.
And I explained to them Payson's landlocked, and we don't have. What we have is high priced. So sometimes people need to check into the cost of construction before they start to build. And yes, and the time. And a lot of times, it's buying an existing home can cost you a lot less.
Yes, and that's something you mentioned, time. So if you're coming from a metropolitan area, most likely construction times are a lot less than in a rural community, just because of the materials, the labor force, all of it. It's different than in, you know, the valley, in Phoenix, the Phoenix metro area, where you see homes go up.
Yeah. Big developments.
Big
There's
developments.
homes ready to go.
Quick.
Very, yeah.
Up here, it's going to take longer. So if you are looking at building a home, that's something that you have to take into consideration.
Sure. And there's some new projects, like you had mentioned earlier, there's 9 projects right now in development, planning and development, which is exciting because we haven't had a lot of new growth other than one-offs. So to see a couple of new communities spring up would be really great.
Yes, it is really good. And how about lending? I'm
That'd
sure.
be great.
Yeah, opportunities.
More, yeah,
Opportunities.
anytime you can get more inventory, that'd be great.
Mhm.
But yeah, you touched on kind of a big point there, like in the valley, like when you see like new home communities, most of those are already been started, like you'll see some homes near completion, so you can walk in, ooh, that one looks good and that might be ready in a month or two, whereas if you walk up here, the builders might need construction financing, which is a whole other thing, so that means you have to apply for a construction loan. You know, you do draws and, you know, funds available, and you give those to the builder to help build the house, and then you do the final 30-year mortgage at the end. Whereas in the valley, you pretty much just have to walk in and do the normal 30-year mortgage. So if you have a development up here that just requires that final 30-year mortgage, that makes our job a lot easier from the lending side. But what I've seen from mostly up here, most of them require the construction finance, and that's a whole different other ballgame. You know, it's lot longer time, more costs, more fees, more money, you know. So in construction lending, you usually have to have a pretty good sized down payment too. Like construction lending for first time home buyers usually doesn't work because you can't come in with just 3% down on those. Whereas you could on a new home construction that just needs that final 30-year mortgage. Like you could just still do that 3% down because the builders have done the upfront cost themselves to build the home. So does that make sense?
Yeah.
Kind of like
Oh,
how
yeah.
the difference is between the two. So
Yeah.
from our side, we love when we can just do the final 30-year, like if we can get like a builder contract where we're the preferred lender and just do the final 30-year, that's great. Love those.
So if people wanted to get a hold of you, I know website, is it Kevin?
It's just neighborhoodloans.com / and then my name.
Okay, and
then-
it's Kevin Quame, Quame.
Yes, that E
Yeah.
gets tricks
Yeah.
people. Yep, so, but it is, yes.
Now, and how, now you serve the Payson
Yep.
area,
All days, yeah.
and you're up here on pretty much a regular basis.
Yes, I come up here once a week usually, have a little office with them, and, which is great, and I've been up here for, gosh, it's gonna be 6 years this fall. That I've been working in the area. I absolutely love it. Our family has a place up here as well. Been coming up here for, I think they bought it in like 2009 or 2010, so we've Yeah, we love it. And
Yeah.
this reminds me a lot of where I grew up.
Mhm.
So in a small community in Minnesota.
Uh-huh.
And so yeah, but I'm also licensed in the whole state of Arizona, and I also have 8 other states as well, kind of neighboring and a little farther out to Texas, Louisiana, Florida, so all over.
And people can also find you at the Chamber of Commerce luncheons
Yes.
because
Yep.
you're a member. So
Yep.
if you are a member of the Chamber of Commerce, or if you have a business and you're thinking about becoming a member, come out to the luncheons,
Yes.
and then you can see Kevin there as well.
Yeah.
All right, and Jennifer, how about
Yes.
you? What is a good way that people can get in touch with you? A phone number?
Sure.
Or?
So, do you want me to do that?
Yes.
Okay, so my cell phone is 480-296-9549, and we actually have Integra Homes and Land. We have 3 offices in town,
Okay.
Chaparral Pines, the Rim Club on site, and then one in Payson. And I'm the designated broker, and so I've been there for 20 years.
Wow.
And I came up from Scottsdale,
Mhm.
and so I'm 32 years in the business, and I have a sales team that I work with as well, so.
Mhm. So you have a little experience in this
A little
area.
bit, yeah.
A little bit. No, that is great. Anything else you would like to add?
Jennifer is one of the first realtors I met up here.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
He said, how do I get started up
Yep,
here?
she's, and here we are, so.
I said, go and join the local
Yep.
association of realtors and
Yep.
start showing up, and
Yep.
he did exactly that, you know.
Uh,
One thing I had, Chris, that was
Yes.
interesting, right before last night, I pulled up just some statistics. So
Yeah.
the National Association of Realtors,
Mhm.
which is nationwide, we have a real savvy economist named Lawrence Yun, and one of the things that I thought was interesting was he said that the national median existing home prices nationwide are expected to remain mostly steady, likely ending the year just 0.4% down compared to 2022. However, home prices are then expected to rebound by 2.6% in 2024.
2.6.
Yes, and so if you're waiting for prices to go down, I
Mm.
would urge you, get in there and make your best deal.
Mm.
Find a good local realtor, make your best deal, ask for concessions if you need it, but this is the American dream. This is home ownership, and it's for the long term, it's the best investment.
And no one can say for sure
No.
what's going to
That's
happen.
for sure.
But it looks like, and I would imagine, home prices in Arizona are going to continue to go up at different rates, maybe
Sure.
different times. Interest rates at some point are going to come down.
They will.
They will, and like you said, Kevin, I think, and if you didn't hear this earlier, but if you have a home, if you found a home, you want to move into another home, and you're able to do it financially, but you're just hesitant because of the interest rates right now. Like Kevin said, it's much easier to get that home now, and then later when the interest rates come down, you can look at refinancing.
Yep. You're already in the home, and you just sit
Yeah.
back and wait and
Yeah,
get it done.
that's
So,
great advice,
yep.
yeah. All right, well, thank you so much,
Thank you,
Jennifer.
Chris.
and Kevin,
It's
for
always
Kevin.
fun,
coming
you
on.
bet.
It is, it's always a good time, and again, it's Friday, so it's extra special.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, no, we don't have Fridays, realtors.
Oh.
Good point.
You don't either.
Yes, sometimes we use.
That's true, it's a little bit different. I know I go into, the coffee shop or something in the morning, I'm like, happy Friday, everyone. They're like, it's not our Friday.
No.
I'm like, sorry, but come on, you can still be happy.
Yeah.
We're happy for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes they are, sometimes they're not.
Yeah.
Well, hey, it's time to get back to the music with, let's see, some Snow Patrol, Santana, and Styx. But first, let's get a quick update from the National Weather Service.
Sticks, I just saw them.
Oh, yeah. I've actually seen that too.
There we go, and I'll turn off the live stream. Keep talking. See you later, guys.